I'm going to take you through the sequence of events that my Level 1 students do in Year 11 for their first project. When they come onto the graphics site, they are met with this screen where they can either click on the Level 1 button here, or if they hover over the tab at the top, it will take them directly to the project. The first project is called the Architect. Now on the Architect page, there is a table of contents of everything that they have to go through, and at the top it tells you what the standard is that they are going to be doing, and this is Assessment Standard 91069, which is promote an organised body of work, of design work to an audience using visual communication techniques, and it's worth 4 credits at Level 1 and it's marked internally. So they have to do 2 things for this. They have to decide what body of work they're going to promote, and they have to learn about visual communication techniques to do it. So as you go through the page, they get to choose their architect. This year I gave them the choice of Frank Lloyd Wright, Frank Gehry or Le Corbusier. They have to do some research. They have to design their layout as thumbnails. There are some examples to show them what to do. They then have to develop their ideas on Adobe Illustrator, and again there's an example of what I want them to do. They have to do a final poster. There's a checklist of everything that they have to do, and then down the bottom there's the assessment guidelines for achievement, merit and excellence, and a few explanations of what all the terms mean up here. Now the work I'm going to show you is from Jessica. She chose to do Frank Lloyd Wright, so when she clicked on the Frank Lloyd Wright link, it took her to this page, which gives some pictures of Frank Lloyd Wright's work, video from YouTube that she can watch, and the main thing on here is some links that will take her through to the relevant information that she needs about her architect. The first thing that they had to do was to collect some pictures and some information. So this is Jessica's research about Frank Lloyd Wright. So she collected pictures and information, and then she had to read through that information and use the highlighter function on Google Docs to highlight the main bits that she was going to use in her presentation. And you can also see my notes down the side here as she was working along and she was getting feedback from me. Another link from the site was using design terminology and how to use it looking at poster design. So there is a slideshow of some movie posters. They could choose one of those, or they could choose a poster of their own, and they have to answer these key questions to help them use design language in their analysis work. The next job was to start designing their posters, and we did this in the form of thumbnail sketches using a pencil and a piece of paper to start with. Now, here is where I met my first stumbling block of how I join together the work that I have to do on paper in graphics and our work online. So we had a go at photographing the thumbnail sketches using the netbooks and uploading those photographs to a Google Doc, and these ones are Jessica's. Then they had to develop these designs into more fully realized ideas on Adobe Illustrator. Now this was done on bigger machines because we can't use Illustrator on the netbooks, and so they had to develop a few different ideas like Jessica has here, and then the analysis notes that went with them are the same questions as they wrote from before when they were looking at movie posters. So these are Jessica's design developments, and then they had to do a final poster design, and this is Jessica's Frank Lloyd Wright poster. Now it has to promote a body of work, so they weren't allowed to just use one image. So she's got a selection of images of Frank Lloyd Wright. She's got the information that she chose to use in her poster, and she decided how she was going to lay it out. Every year NZQA call for internal assessed standards to be moderated, and this one was chosen this year, and our moderation report reads as follows. The task and supporting information on the Google site addresses the requirements of the standard. It gives opportunity for learners to achieve at all levels. The schedule provides examples of appropriate learner response and indicates the required performance. I am confident in the assessor's ability to make judgments at the national standard for the sample of student work supplied. What I sent off to NZQA was a print off of the site. Because it was all online, we have to send them the paperwork, so I printed off what was on the site and I put a cover sheet on which gave them the URL, so that if the assessor who was moderating my work felt that they could spare the time to go and actually look at the site, then they had the URL to do that. And judging by what they say in the overview on the report, they say the supporting information on the Google site, I do believe they did go on and have a look, which is a step in the right direction for NZQA.